Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back. I just picked up the brand new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5 and I thought, let me make a video and show you guys the crucial settings and features that you should tweak and turn on your new Galaxy Z Flip 5 to take full advantage of your new phone. So we are gonna make some useful changes, customize the cover screen, show you how to run apps on it, then tweak and turn on useful settings, add some super useful widgets, and make the phone look super awesome. So without wasting any time, let's start the video right away. So we're gonna start with the basics and gradually move on to the more advanced features and settings. So once you finish the initial setup on your phone, this is how it's gonna look like. The first change we're gonna make is to add a brightness slider to the quick panel. So what you wanna do is drop down the notification panel completely, tap on these three dots and then select quick panel layout. Then tap on brightness control and select show always. So this adds a brightness slider to the quick panel, making it very easy to change the brightness. When you press and hold the power button on your Z Flip 5, you'll notice that it launches the Bixby personal assistant instead of showing you the menu which lets you restart or power off your phone. And if you're like me and if you don't use Bixby, then I would recommend changing the behavior of the power button to show you the power off menu instead of launching Bixby. So what you want to do is drop down the notification panel all the way down, then tap on the power button. Here, tap on side key settings. Now under press and hold, change to power off menu. And now the phone will show you the power off menu instead of launching Bixby. Now when you change the wallpaper for the very first time, what I want you guys to do is pinch in on the home screen and then go to wallpaper and style. Tap on color palette and enable this feature. And what this feature does is that it picks out the colors that are in the wallpaper and uses them as the theme of your phone. So look at the preview and pick the color palette that you like. Once you are done, you will notice that the theme of your phone will match the colors of your wallpaper, which is really awesome. Next, let's make some changes to the display. So what we're gonna do is go to settings and then display. Here, you might want to switch on dark mode if you haven't already. Dark mode is actually quite easy on the eyes, especially when you view the phone's display at night. Now the next thing you should do is scroll down and go to font size and style, and here switch on bold font. This will increase the thickness of the font without changing its actual size. It just makes the font a little bit more legible. And if you want to download more fonts, tap on font style and here tap on download fonts. This is gonna take you to the Galaxy store from where you can download more fonts. So as you can see, this is the one that we just downloaded. One of the main highlights of the Flip 5 is its cover screen. You can actually do a lot of things like run Google Maps for navigation, watch YouTube or Netflix, and even reply to text messages on apps such as WhatsApp. So for the most part, you don't even need to open the main screen. But you will need to enable a setting which allows you to run these apps on the cover screen. Let me show you how. So what you want to do is go to settings and then scroll down to advanced features. Tap on labs and enable apps allowed on the cover screen. Inside you will see a list of apps, just enable all of them. So this is gonna enable you to run certain applications like WhatsApp on the cover screen. I've also noticed that the phone shows the list of apps at the end of the cover screen widgets. So this is something that you can tweak and customize. Let me show you how. So once again, go back to settings, scroll down to cover screen and then widgets. Here you can see apps is at the bottom of the screen. So what you want to do is tap on reorder and bring the apps to the top of the list. Now you're gonna see the list of apps for the cover screen when you swipe in from right to left on the cover screen. And only after that you're gonna see the list of widgets. Now I've also noticed that a lot of cover screen widgets are actually disabled by default. So you might want to go back into the cover screen settings and then widgets, and here start by enabling recent calls. This widget is awesome. It allows you to see the recent calls that you have made and received on your phone right on the cover screen. And if you wish to, you can dial them directly from over here. You can even tap here and access the phone's dialer. So you don't even need to open the cover screen if you just want to make a phone call. You can also add a list of your favorite contacts on the cover screen by enabling the direct dial widget. So once you enable direct dial, tap on it and add the contacts that you want to call from the cover screen. And moving on, I think rest of them are pretty self-explanatory. Stopwatch will add a stopwatch to the cover screen that you can use. Timer is basically a countdown timer that you can use on the cover screen. I don't think I should be explaining that. And while you're at it, you also might want to enable the voice recorder and the daily activity widget. The voice recorder widget is awesome. It lets you do a voice recording directly from the cover screen. And lastly, the daily activity widget is going to show you how many steps and how many calories you have burned throughout the day. Awesome, right? So yeah, these are the cover screen widgets available on the Z Flip 5. And since we are talking about the cover screen, you can customize it and have it display useful information such as the date, time, battery level, weather, and your notifications. So it's got everything that you want to see on the cover screen. So to customize the cover screen, once again go into the settings and then cover screen. Now here you've got a bunch of preset and pre-made cover screens from Samsung. And if you feel like, you can tap on them to edit them further. But if you want to go a step further and create your very own personalized cover screen preset, what you want to do is tap on add new and choose a design from over here. And you've got a ton of designs to choose from. But my personal favorite is the informative presets because these ones will give you all the information that you would need on the cover screen. And once you pick one, you can customize it even further. So if you want, you can change the background color and the wallpaper that appears on the cover screen. And as always, this is a personal choice, so pick one that suits your personality. But yeah, there is plenty of customization available for the cover screen. And I absolutely love that. Now, you might have noticed that the clock on the cover screen turns off by itself after a couple of seconds. If you want the clock to always be there on the cover screen, then you will need to configure the always on display. Because on this phone, the always on display controls both the cover screen clock as well as the clock that appears on the main display. And this shows you the time, music information and notifications while the screen is turned off. And it is always going to show you the clock on the cover screen, which is very useful. Let me show you how to configure the always on display. So drop down the notification panel, go to settings and scroll down to lock screen. Then tap on always on display. So first, you've got the 4 different always on display modes. By default, the phone will be set to the first one. That is, you have to tap on the screen to see the clock. The working principle is the same for the cover screen. You will have to tap once to see the clock. The second one is show always, meaning the clock will always be displayed when the screen is off. This obviously consumes more battery, but it does make the phone look cool, especially the cover screen. The third one lets you set a schedule for when the always on display should be turned on and off. And finally, the fourth option displays the clock only when the phone receives a new notification. So if I send a text message onto this phone, you will see that the always on display will come on and it will stay on until I manually dismiss the notification. Now, if you want to change how the clock looks on the always on display, you might want to go back to the always on display settings and then tap on clock styles. And here you can see you've got plenty of styles to choose from. You can even download additional always on display stickers from the Galaxy store. But do keep in mind that these are only for the main display. When it comes to the always on display clock on the cover screen, well, that depends on the type of cover screen that you choose. So this particular cover screen has this kind of a clock for the always on display. This particular cover screen shows an analog clock and this one shows a digital clock. So that shows you the always on display clock on the cover screen depends on which type of cover screen you've chosen. But there are still minor customizations available, like if you change the type of font and the color, that's gonna reflect on the always on display clock on the cover screen. Also, whenever you get a text message, the phone doesn't show the sender's name or the contents of the text message on the cover screen as well as on the lock screen. You gotta unlock the phone just to see who's texted you. This is actually a new privacy focused change on Android, but if you want to see who's texted you and the contents of the message without unlocking the phone on the cover screen like this, you might want to go into the settings, then notifications, then lock screen notifications, and then tap on the gear icon in front of show content. And what you want to do is enable this for all apps. And that is it. Now whenever you receive a text message, you're gonna see the sender's name and the contents of the message right on the cover screen as well as on the lock screen on the main display. But once again, this is a personal choice. You can always choose to hide the sender's name and the contents if you feel like. I also suggest changing the way the phone displays notifications on the lock screen. By default, the phone only shows you the notification icons and it takes one extra step of tapping them just to see what you've got. So to change how this looks, long press on the lock screen and then unlock your phone. And you will be presented with a live preview of the lock screen. Now since we want to change how the notifications look, we're gonna tap on the notification icons and change this from icons only to details. And if you want, you can also make the notifications transparent. It just makes them look pretty. Now obviously this is a personal choice. If you prefer a cleaner look, then you can leave it on icons only. And speaking of the lock screen customization, you can also change the clock to something a bit more attractive, like having a nice colorful clock on the lock screen. So to change, tap on the clock and then select a clock that suits your personality. And you can also change its size and the font. And lastly, pick a color from over here. And finally, you can put something down here, maybe your contact information, or type something that you like. So there you go. Now the lock screen looks nice. Samsung Galaxy smartphones have a feature that lights up the edges of the screen whenever the phone gets a new notification. And this makes the phone look awesome, especially at night. But by default, this feature is disabled, so you will have to turn it on. Let me show you how. Alright, so drop down the notification panel and go to settings. Here tap on notifications. Inside notifications, tap on notification pop-up style. Now on this screen, make sure that this option is set to brief. Otherwise, you won't see these options down over here. So set this to brief and then tap on edge lighting style to change the style of edge lighting. Now there are plenty of edge lighting styles to choose from. My personal favorite is the glitter effect because this looks phenomenal. Once you select the effect, go to advanced and change the width from narrow to wide and duration from short to long. This makes the glitter effect a little bit thick and makes it last a little bit longer. And lastly, make sure show even while screen is off is enabled if you want to see the effect when the screen is off. I also recommend hiding the navigation bar that appears at the bottom of the screen. The advantage of this is that it gives you more screen area for your content. Look how the keyboard fits properly. So what you want to do is go to settings, then display, scroll down to navigation bar. Now inside here, change the navigation type from buttons to swipe gestures. Also, in addition to this, turn off gesture hints and show button to hide keyboard. If you don't disable show button to hide keyboard, then you will have this black bar at the bottom of the screen whenever the keyboard is open. So swipe gestures are awesome. It turns the edges of the screen into the back key, which makes it very easy to use the phone with one hand. So now swipe in from the edges to go back. Swiping up from the middle takes us to our home screen, and if you swipe up from the middle and hold, that's gonna open up recents. And doing this gesture will let you go back and forth between your recent apps. And many of you guys have asked me about this keyboard, so I'm using Microsoft Swiftkey. It's got a couple of interesting features like theme, which lets you customize the keyboard according to your mood. And you've also got this swipe gesture input, which makes it very easy to type. This keyboard actually came pre-installed on the Z Flip-5, you just have to enable it. So go to settings, scroll down to general management. Here tap on keyboard list and default. Just enable Microsoft Swiftkey keyboard and then change the default keyboard to Swiftkey from here. and I feel this keyboard is far superior to what Samsung has to offer. And if it doesn't come pre-installed on your phone, go ahead and download it from the Play Store. Samsung smartphones have a feature called Edge Panels, and these give you easy access to your favorite apps, screenshot tool, and a lot more. Let me show you how to customize this. Okay, so the location of the edge panels is shown by this white line over here, and this is called the edge panel handle, and you swipe in like this to open up the edge panels. Right now there is only a single edge panel. This is because we have to enable all of the other edge panels that I just showed you. So let me show you how. Drop down the notification panel and go to settings. Tap on display, then scroll down to edge panels, and inside here tap on panels. So by default only one edge panel will be enabled. So in addition to this, I want you guys to enable the smart select panel, the weather panel, tools, and the reminder edge panel. And these are just the basic edge panels on the phone. If you want more, you can always go to the Galaxy Store and download free edge panels from here. So I've just downloaded the calendar and the calculator panel from the Galaxy Store. Now while you're here, go back to the apps edge panel and then tap on edit. Then tap on these three dots and then enable show app names. So now you'll see the names of apps in the apps edge panel instead of the icons. And finally, just drag and drop the apps that you use frequently to this list, so you'll have easy access to them through the apps edge panel. So check it out, now we have all of these different edge panels available for use. Look at this, it's even got a compass. Now the Smart Select Edge Panels is one of my favorites because if you take a screenshot using the rectangle option, this will let you extract text out of a photo. So we've taken a screenshot and now if we press on the T button, you will see that the phone will extract text out of the screenshot. And you can copy this and paste wherever you like. How amazing is this, guys? So edge panels are awesome, and this is something that you should start using right away on your Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5. By the way, you can also customize the edge panel handle. So what we are going to do is go back into the edge panel settings, and here we are going to tap on handle. Now from here, you can also change the position of the handle, so you can grab this and place the handle anywhere you like. You can also change its size and also make it completely transparent so that you don't have the handle line on the right side of your display, but the handle is still there. So if you swipe in, you'll see that the edge panels will still open. So here's a feature that will make your Galaxy Flip run cool and make the battery last a lot longer. So what you want to do is go to settings and then scroll down to battery and device care. Here tap on battery, scroll down and more battery settings, and here you'll find a feature called performance profile. Inside it's got two options, standard and light. The standard mode makes the phone run normally, but the light profile prioritizes battery life and it makes the phone run cool even when you've got multiple apps open. Now of course you do sacrifice a bit of performance, but it is not noticeable on the Z Flip 5 because of the brand new Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip. So I recommend keeping the performance profile on light if you want better battery backup and less heat coming from your smartphone. And since we are talking about the battery, if you want to keep the battery of your Samsung phone in good health for many years to come, you might want to cap the maximum level of charge. So what you want to do is go back to the more battery settings and here enable a feature called Protect Battery. So this feature limits the maximum charge level to 85% and the phone is going to pause charging as soon as the battery level hits 85%. So the thing is, lithium batteries degrade faster when they are charged up to 100%. So by limiting the maximum charge level to 85%, you can technically help extend the lifespan of the battery for a little bit longer. And limiting the charge level is also beneficial if you leave your phone plugged in overnight, because then it's gonna stop charging at 85%. So I think it is a good idea to turn this feature on, but if you want to charge your phone to 100%, say for example if you are going out and you won't have a charger with you, then hey, turn this feature off, no problem. But if you are staying at home, keeping this feature on is a good idea. One more setting that you should absolutely change is the way the icons are sorted in the app drawer. We're gonna select the alphabetical order because that makes it super easy to search for an app. I also feel that the spacing is a bit off when it comes to these icons. I feel we can fit more icons on a single page on both the app drawer as well as on our home screen. So what we're gonna do is pinch in on the home screen and then go to settings. Now to fit more icons on the home screen, tap on Home Screen Grid. So by default, it will be set to 4x5, that is 4 icons in the horizontal row and 5 in the vertical row. I prefer 5x6, that is 5 icons in the horizontal row and 6 in the vertical row. So this option gives you a lot of space to fit your icons and widgets on the home screen. Now to change the setting for the app drawer, let's go back into the settings and tap on Apps Screen Grid. We are going to change this to 5x6, and this allows you to fit more icons on a single page. Alright, now that we are done with the basic customization of the phone, let me show you some useful widgets that you might want to add to your home screen. But before that, you will have to customize how the home screen looks like. So by default, there are two home screens. The one on the far left is your Google feed. This does not count as a home screen, so for now, we are going to ignore this. Now I prefer having 3 home screens because that's gonna allow us to add a couple of useful widgets. So to customize, pinch in and then we will add another home screen over here. Then we're gonna make the middle one our main home screen by tapping on the home button. There you go. The next thing you wanna do is remove all of the icons and the widgets from the home screens so that you have 3 empty home screens to customize. So once all of the home screens are empty, let's start adding widgets. So pinch in and then tap on widgets. The first widget that I want to add is the calendar widget. So we are going to add this one because it shows us the month and the upcoming appointments. And we're going to place this on the leftmost home screen. The next thing we're going to do is make the widget a little bit transparent. So long press the widget and then tap on settings. We're going to switch off match with dark mode and select black and adjust the transparency. There you go. Now the widget looks really nice. So let's go back to the calendar widgets and also add the list view. So this is going to show us all of our upcoming appointments and events for the entire month. Very useful. You can also add a countdown timer to a specific event in your calendar. Just add the countdown widget and select an event from the calendar. So this one is going to show us how many days are left for Christmas Eve. Another widget that I absolutely recommend is the Samsung Health widget. This is a pedometer and it will show you how many steps you have taken throughout the day. You also might want to add the digital well-being widget. This is going to show you the apps and for how long you've been using them along with your screen on time. Kinda makes it easy to keep a track on your daily smartphone usage habits. Now on the main home screen, you can add a clock that shows you both the time and the weather. So to add this, what you want to do is go to the weather widgets and here add the weather and clock widget. Now obviously this is a personal choice. I'm gonna add the dual clock because I've got a friend who lives in another country and this makes it easy to keep a track of the time in her region. As for the weather widget, in my opinion the weather forecast widget is the best. Now sometimes the widgets don't exactly fit properly, so in this case you can always resize them. And if you make them smaller, they're gonna readjust and show you content depending on how much space you allocate. I've also added the Samsung Notes widget and I think this is the single most useful widget on the entire phone because this lets you create a new note with a single tap. I find this widget extremely useful. You also might want to add the device care widget and this is very useful because it's going to show you how much storage and RAM is in use. I've also left some space at the bottom, so here you might want to add the icons of applications that you use frequently. So I've added Snapchat, Camera, WhatsApp, Instagram, Gallery, etc. etc. And I've also rearranged these icons at the bottom, like I've brought the dialer to the bottom right so that it's easier to open the phone book with my right thumb. It just makes the phone easier to use with one hand. Also, you might want to add the video recording shortcut here. So long press the camera icon and you will see 3 options. Drag and drop the record video down here. And this will give you direct access to the video recording mode so that you don't have to switch the camera modes around. Now, if you feel like the home screen is getting too crowded, you can combine two widgets in a single one. It is very simple, just drag and drop the widgets on top of each other and you will see both of them will combine, giving us two widgets inside of a single one. Awesome, so this will allow you to save space and have more widgets on the home screen. And finally, as for the third home screen, we've got the Gmail widget, and I've also added a battery widget. Now this one is quite useful because along with the level of charge in the phone, it is also going to show you the level of charge with any of the devices that you connect to the phone. And along with this, I've also combined the Bixby Vision widget, and this thing is awesome. First off, it contains a real-time text translator which is very similar to Google Translate. So it will translate text in real time. There's also a text scanner that you can use to copy text from physical documents and paste the text anywhere on your phone. And it also has an image search feature. So if you want to find out more information about something, you can just take a photo and search for it. And continuing the trend from the main home screen, we've also left some space at the bottom for extra icons. So here you might want to add the icons of apps that you use frequently. I've already added a few, but as I continue using the phone, I will be adding more. So yeah, this is how you go about turning features on and customizing the Galaxy Z Flip 5 and making it even more functional. So yeah, with that said, we have come to the end of the video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button because that helps out a lot. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel because I've got plenty of videos coming up for the Galaxy Z Flip 5. Alright, so thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Tech Guy Charlie signing off.